of 2024. My name is Ling from the Vinhomes IR team, and we appreciate your presence in this call today. Before we kick off, there are a few housekeeping items I'd like to bring your attention. All participants will be muted for the duration of the call. Our earnings call will begin with a 30-minute management presentation, followed by a 30-minute live Q&A session. The guidance on how to submit your questions will be provided after the prepared remarks. Please note that this call will be conducted in English and is being recorded. Our earnings materials for today. Joining us today are Mr. Phạm Thiểu Hoa, Chairman, Ms. Nguyễn Diệu Linh, Member of the Board, Ms. Nguyễn Thu Hằng, CEO, Mr. Alex Phạm, Director of Investment, Mr. Công Lê, Chief Accountant, Mr. Long Lý, Deputy Head of Finance and Accounting, Ms. Mai Anh Dinh, Senior Manager of Investor Relations. From Vingroup, we have Ms. Thủy Vũ Ropsi, CCTO, and Ms. Anh Tạ, CIO. I will now turn the call over to Mr. Alex. Mr. Alex, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Lynn. Welcome everyone to our earnings call. So for the earnings call today, I'll start off with the key messages and the snapshot for 2024. I'll then cover the macroeconomic landscape, real estate market trends in Vietnam, and highlighting our operational and financial performance before concluding with the outlook for 2025. If you do have any questions, I would request you to hold on it towards the end, and then we'll have a Q&A session as well. All right, so first up on the economic front, Vietnam's GDP continued to grow, achieving 7.09% in 2024, surpassing the National Assembly's targets, primarily driven by infrastructure investments as well as export and foreign investments inflows. CPI growth was contained at 3.63% year on year, lower than the average CPI increase and well below the government's 4.5% threshold, again giving ample room for the state bank to continue with the accommodative monetary policy. On the other hand, robust housing demands and healthy absorption rates have reflected in strong mortgage activities and signs of further recovery in the real estate market. So the market has entered a new development cycle. This progress is largely attributed to favorable macroeconomic conditions as well as favorable interest rates environment and the strong pent-up demand. Performance-wise, we have delivered a total of 19,400 units over the past 12 months in 2024. The total adjusted revenue and profit after tax increased by 13% and 5% year on year, respectively, and successfully outperformed our full-year targets and guidance. At the same time, contracted sales total 103.9 trillion Vietnam dong in financial year 24, mainly thanks to the debut of Vinhomes Royal Islands in late March. Our unbuilt sales, as at the end of 24, stood at 94.2 trillion Vietnam dong, again laying a strong foundation for our future earnings. So just having a look at the snapshot for 2024, the total contracted sales reached 103.9 trillion, up 19% year on year, again fueled by the launch of Vinhomes Royal Islands, as well as the continued strong sales performance at the existing developments such as Vinhomes Ocean Park 3 and Vinhomes Golden Avenue. Vinhomes' cumulative unbilled sales was 94.2 trillion, establishing a strong foundation revenue. The total adjusted revenue reached 141.8 trillion Vietnam dong, This represents a 13% year-on-year increase and 18% higher than our full-year target. The adjusted gross profit and net profit after tax also reported positive growth, reaching 58.6 trillion Vietnam dong and 35.1 trillion Vietnam dong, growing by 21% and 5% respectively. So looking at our sales momentum, despite the difficulties in the market, Vinhomes has continued to maintain a strong momentum, primarily driven by launches of large-scale projects in Hanoi and Haiphong. In 2024, the introduction of Vinhomes Royal Island has continued to position us as the market leader with robust sales performance. Vinhomes Royal Island has played an important role in our performance last year, contributing approximately 55% of our contracted sales in 2024 and 30% of our unbilled sales as of the end of Q4. Following closely were Vinhomes Ocean Park 2 and 3 and Vinhomes Golden Avenue. These are also key contributors to our contracted sales figures. So overall, the management of Vinhomes remains confident on our business performance, driven by the strong recovery of the real estate market, favorable macroeconomic environment, low interest rates, and a solid pipeline of projects for 2025 and 26, as well as ongoing sales across multiple bulk sale transactions of our developments. All right, next up, just to give you a bit of an update on the macro fronts and market trends. So the Vietnam's economy is experiencing strong resilience and strong growth, with GDP growing by 7.55% in Q4 24, one of the highest rates of growth in the world, and is expected to continue in 2025. The stable low interest rate environment has also continued to support the market, with average mortgage rates at around 7.5%. This is a significant decline compared to 12 and 18 months ago. Public investments is accelerating, supported by the new amended law on public investments, which will increase in the disbursement rates of over 90% expected this year. Foreign direct investment remains strong, with a record high disbursements of $25.35 billion in 2024, and real estate continues to be one of the largest recipients of foreign investment flows. The government is targeting GDP growth of between 8 and 10% next year, and the State Bank has lifted credit growth from 15% to 16%, and focusing on continued investments into public infrastructure, and also continue to reform the policies and restore confidence in the market amongst both the developers and home buyers as well. So against the strong, favorable macroeconomic backdrop, the real estate markets in Vietnam has experienced a very strong recovery. In Q4 24, the Hanoi real estate market experienced substantial growth, with supply reaching around 31,000 units, up 201% year-on-year, with 31,200 units sold. This is a 176% increase year-on-year. On average, market prices in Hanoi has increased by about 36% year-on-year, again driven by the strong supply and the strong pent-up demand. Going over to Ho Chi Minh, very similar trends in terms of pricing, with the market average prices in Ho Chi Minh have increased by about 24% year on year in Q4 2024 compared to a year ago. On the supply side, supply has seen some improvements from, however, the supply remains in 2025 and going forward, driven by the strong investments in infrastructure, such as the opening of Metro Line 1, connecting Ho Chi Minh to other major urban areas, as well as the increase in supply with projects being launched in 2025 and 2026. All right, moving on, just want to give you some updates on our business activities. So Vinhomes continue to be a pioneer in providing new standards of residential living. We have continued to launch new projects and new subdivisions within our developments in 2024, such as the Paris subdivision in Ocean Park 1, the Kyoto 3 zone in Star City, Thanh Hóa. On December, we have also entered into a strategic partnership with Nomura Real Estate to develop a new residential district within our Vinhomes Royal Island projects. This collaboration leverages on both Vinhomes and Nomura's extensive experience and Vinhomes' deep local market knowledge. On the sustainability front, Vinhomes is very proud to be one of very few real estate companies that have achieved ISO certifications, including ISO 9001 for quality management, ISO 14001 for environmental management, ISO 45001 for occupational health and safety, and especially SA 8000 for social accountability, highlighting our dedication to achieve best international standards across our operations. Vinhomes continue to focus on the destinational marketing strategy with multiple events held during 2024, attracting a significant amount of customers and attendees, such as events such as Call Me By Fire in Ocean Park 3, the Glamorous Countdown, attracting 100,000 participants, our Countdown to Greatness in Royal Island, attracting 110,000 participants, and the iPhone Beauty Souls in Bloom with 120 people attending. So these events have clearly put Vinhomes as the pioneer in using entertainments and activities to attract residents into our developments. In addition to that, we have continued to garner prestigious awards and accolades, including being the best residential developer in Vietnam 2024, as well as achieving Vietnam National Brand for 2024. Our projects have also received multiple awards, such as the Vinhomes Royal Island projects, receiving the Outstanding Real Estate Projects in Vietnam for 2024. Vinhomes Royal Islands also received the Most Prominent Livable Projects Award for 2024, project with exemplary infrastructure, and our Vinhomes Golden Avenue was nominated, voted as the most livable project in 2024 as well. These accolades not only affirm our market leadership, but also recognize our commitments to developing premium living environments with superior amenities, infrastructure, and services. All right, looking at our market share, we continue to hold dominant positions in Vietnam's real estate markets with 27% market share across all condominium segments. In the mid-end condominium, we commanded a market share of 38%, 39% for high-end, and 37% in landed property, again highlighting our dominant positions in the Vietnam's property market, a position that we'll continue to strive for and even increase further next year. All right, on the ESG front, we are committed to a sustainable development guidelines underpinned by robust ESG strategy. On the environment factor, we continue to minimize direct environment footprint by monitoring our CO2 emissions, the use of renewable energy, freshwater and landfill waste management. For social activity, we ensure safe work environment and diverse culture, nurturing diversity and inclusion, providing equal opportunities for professional and personal development. In terms of governance, Vinhomes maintain transparent governance structure. We established policies, standardized procedures applied to all stakeholders, and we select and engage with suppliers based on recognized ESG standards, and simultaneously promoting sustainable developments to both internal and external parties. All right, moving on to the next part, just our financial highlights for 2024. The total revenue for Vinhomes' own project was 73.2 trillion Vietnam dong, and the revenue for BCC projects was 36.8 trillion Vietnam dong. So the key contributors to our projects revenue include Vinhomes Ocean Park 1, Ocean Park 2 and 3, and Vinhomes Golden Avenue. As for the BCC projects, the majority of the revenue was derived from the Vinhomes Royal Island projects in Hai Phong. The profit after tax for the same period was 35.1 trillion Vietnam dong, up 5% year on year, while the consolidated PATMI, profit after tax and minority interests, was 31.5 trillion Vietnam dong. So in comparisons to 2023, improvements were observed across all the key income statement line items. Importantly, our share profit from BCC projects increased by 1,004. Importantly, our share profit from BCC projects increased, driven by the recognition of both sale transactions at Vinhomes Ocean Park 3 and deliveries at Vinhomes Royal Island throughout 2024, along with the continued deliveries at Vinhomes Ocean Park 2, 3, and Vinhomes Golden Avenue. So these results have highlighted the successful execution of our developments and sales strategy. This slide here reconciles the total BCC projects to explain the profit derived on the project-by-project basis. The next slide is an illustration of our financial 2024 in more detail for your perusal. All right, our balance sheets. All right, the following financial performance incorporates the BCC and bulk sales slide comparing the key income statement line items like for like for 2024 after incorporating the BCC and bulk sales revenue recognized under financial income. Right. Our balance sheet remains well positioned to support our ongoing expansion and enable the launch of new projects going forward, capturing the market opportunities. As of December 31st, 24, total assets reached 561 trillion Vietnam dong, and our total equity was 220 trillion Vietnam dong, representing increases of 26% and 21% respectively year on year. Right. On the key credit metrics, in 24, we maintained a conservative capital structure, reflecting in our net debt to equity ratio of 22.3%, which is relatively prudent compared to our peers in Vietnam. Regarding newly launched projects, we anticipate utilizing pre-sale proceeds to repay and bring down the borrowings going forward. Our current debt to assets ratio, we're sitting at 14.5%. Looking at our debt profile, Vinhomes, the majority of our debt position was in Vietnam dong denominated debt, and we have also been able to access the international capital market as well, with circa 10% of our debt was international loans in USD denominated. Our average cost of debt was 10.5%, with the average maturity at 1.9%. Our interest coverage was 7.9 times, and 61% of our debt was fixed rate debt. During the financial year 2024, we have issued a total of 22.4 trillion Vietnam dong in corporate bonds, again highlighting our ability to access new capital and secure fund for project development. So looking forward, we have a strong pipeline of projects going forward, as well as unbuilt sales of 94.2 trillion Vietnam dong as of 2024 end, providing a strong foundation for our future earnings. Pre-sales momentum shall be facilitated by the upcoming launches of our new mega projects, including those in Hanoi, in Haiphong, as well as in Long An and the surrounding areas of Ho Chi Minh City. The key contributors to 25 earnings will include deliveries from Royal Island, Ocean Park 3, Golden Avenue, as well as the recognition of our bulk sale transactions, which are expected to be concluded in 2025. On the positive macroeconomic outlook, Vietnam will continue to have resilient growth in 2025, and it is set to outperform regional peers with a growth target of between 8 and 10%. And the government is committed to accelerate public infrastructure investments, which will further boost economic expansion and the real estate sector. The implementation of the new laws on housing and real estate is anticipated to further facilitating the growth and opportunities for developers in 2025. So on that note, I'd like to conclude my presentation here and open the floors to your question. Thank you.